Ready, go!
Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. I am ready to give you multitude of war, if that is your choice. Notorious terrorist leader, Dãrês federal government. I am ready to give you multitude of war, if that is your choice. Notorious terrorist leader, Dãrês federal government. So my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. A notorious bandit kingpin in Zamfara state, Muhammad Bello, aka Bello Toji, has responded to the federal government aerial bombing of his enclave in Fakai in the Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara state. The Nigerian Air Force had last Saturday bombed the hideout of the notorious terror kingpin. Some of his fighters and relatives were said to have been killed in the air raid. The terrorists were attending a wedding ceremony with Toji and his camp in attendance when the venue was raided. He was said to have narrowly escaped the area bombardment on his home with injury. Reacting to the incident, the bandit warlord accused the government of breaking the peace pact they had with him in stopping banditry by protecting the people of Shinkafi axis from any attack. Speaking on phone with some of his acquaintances, Toji expressed his bitterness over the air raid on his abode and the killing of vulnerable people. In an audio conversation obtained by PR Nigeria, the bandit leader said he had agreed with officials of the government and community leaders to abandon banditry. There have not been any attacks in the last 5 months since we reached a truce with the government, but now that the military has attacked our home, we feel betrayed, especially after the death of vulnerable people in the airstrikes. For the past 5 months, we didn't attack or kill anyone around Shinkafi. As a result, farming and other business activities were flourishing without any hitches. I feel embarrassed when my name is mentioned after attacks by under bandits and terrorists. Apart from my house that they destroyed, many other buildings belonging to innocent citizens in the forest were also affected. Peace is priceless, and I am ready to be a peace advocate unless the government wants him to be a warmonger. I am ready for either peace or war. Whatever the government wants, we can give them a multitude. Zamfara Deputy Governor Azan Nasir recently said Toji had repented and embraced peace overtures by the state government. He is known to have been responsible for numerous massacres and terrorist attacks against civilians and security forces in the northwest region, especially Zamfara and Sokoto State. In September 2021, Yan Sakai operatives attacked a mosque in Guadabawa, killing 11 people. Toji responded by leading his bandits towards a market in Gonroyo, Sokoto State. The bandits entered the bazaar and opened fire, killing at least 50 to over 60 civilians. In December 2021, Toji's forces attacked a bus in Sabon Beni, setting it on fire and burning the passengers inside to death. 30 people died in the ambush. From 4 to 6 January 2022, over 200 people were killed by terrorists led by Toji in Zamfara State, Nigeria. Shortly before the attacks, terrorists led a raid on a group of 3,000 cattle, only to be confronted by local vigilantes, leading a gunfight and battle between the two parties. The outnumbered vigilantes lost, and many of them were slain by bandits, and the killings of villagers began. A notorious bandit kingpin in Zamfara State, Muhammad Bello, aka Bello Toji, has responded to the federal government's area bombing of his enclave in Fakai in the Shinkafi local government area of Zamfara State. The Nigerian Air Force had last Saturday bombed the hideout of the notorious terror kingpin. Some of his fighters and relatives were said to have been killed in the air raid. The terrorists were attending a wedding ceremony with Toji and his camp in attendance when the venue was raided. He was said to have narrowly escaped the aerial bombardment on his home without injury. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let us know what your view is all about.